Alright, in today's video we are going to be making an Afrobeat from scratch. We'll be making something that sounds a lot more fuller, not something basic or average. We'll be making a groovy Afrobeat that has my magic touch to it, so let's jump right in. Alright, to begin with, I have this grand piano loaded from Keyscape. By the way, my scale is already set to F minor. Let's make some chord progression. Select the 1, 6, 3, 7 notes of the scale. Turn them into chords by skipping each scale note twice. Let's double the bass note for depth. And then add the fifth for a more rich and fuller sound. Now we invert notes to glue the progression together. I'll reposition the chords to make it 8 bars long. Put a note at the close of the 8th bar and do Ctrl+L to legato the notes to connect them together. Now from here we can add a counter melody for smooth transition to other chords. Sounds boring like this, so we are going to throw in an effect to make it more interesting. Let's do gross beat with the sidechain preset. I'm going to reset this one. Now you suddenly have a movement to the progression as the volume ducks and comes up, creating that pumping effect. And when you turn down the mix knob here, you get a blend of the dry chords and the process signal from the gross beat. To raise the overall volume, let's do a soft clipper to keep the dynamics in check, followed by a limiter to raise the overall volume. With the limiter, just set the ceiling and push down the threshold until you hear no distortion. From here, I'll layer with this one shot preset. It's a pad. So let me show you a trick when you are working with one shot. So if you'll be using the one shot to play chords, make sure you mess around with the envelope settings for it to sound a lot more cleaner, or just like a VST. Let's do a visual demonstration. So when I play the chords and you look at the keyboard layout here, you notice that each time the chord transitions to another chord, the notes of the chords increases. So with the first chord, it's just 5 notes and we have 5 notes on the keyboard here. But when the chord transitions to another chord, on the keyboard, it's a stack of 8 notes, but we still have 5 notes here. So the notes from the previous chord, the first chord, bleeds into the second one, and this gets worse as the progression goes on. So when you look at the third chord, now we have 10 notes. It sounds a lot more muddy. The chord gets muddy as the progression goes on. So to fix this, I'll let the chord cut itself by making an envelope settings like this. Now this sounds a lot more cleaner. We can do same pumping effect on the pad. So you click on this drop down menu, save preset as, and then drag it onto the pad. It basically copies the exact effect so that you don't have to do it twice. Here's a rule of thumb. For a non-bass instrument, always cut the low frequencies with an EQ. Now from here we can add a counter melody. With the counter melody, use the ghost note of the chord as your guide to create it. You can find the ghost channel from here, or do Alt+V to activate it. Now we can add another counter melody to create a call and response type of melody. We add variation on this part. And now we can layer it for a more fuller sound. For the bass, basically we follow the root note of the progression and then add some groove to it. Before we add the drums, let's add some effects to glue all the melody together. Let's do some delay on the muted guitar. This instrument almost sounds the same, so we can just pan them slightly left and right. Do RC20 on it. For the bass, let's do R bass to enhance the low end harmonics. Presets are always your best friend, so use it. Just split by channel and then drag it onto the playlist. I don't want this part to play, so I'll just mute it. And I added a vocal sample to accent the chord. For the drums, let's start with the tambourine as a shaker. This snare pattern, you can see the variation in the velocity. Essentially, it places more emphasis on the second and fourth hit. We just layer it for a more fuller sound. I added this peck. And the kick, it just plays a 4-step kick pattern. With some rolls here. So to add the rolls, just add a kick. Do Alt plus U to chop it, and then we create a rising effect with the velocity. A tambourine one shot, more percussions, congas, and done. That will be all for this video. Like always, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.